Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see just how viable these weapons can be for us to be using inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. This is going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the MW2 weapons. So if you guys are new around here and you like to see how weapons perform inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, make sure you're subscribed with those bell notifications turned on so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As well, down below in the description, you will find the link to my streams, and I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have a ton of fun over there. And in the last stream, I attempted the Unstable Rift solo, which was tons of fun. So I'd love to see you guys come and hang out. We have tons of fun over there. Now, in today's video, I wanted to touch base with you all and see how everybody is doing on the brand new event and what you think of the Vacation Squad event. In that, this challenge requires you to do specific challenges instead of earning XP in order to unlock a blueprint for the gutter knife. I'm unsure if this is actually a camo or a blueprint, so let me know down below and what you guys' thoughts are on that. Now, today's video is something I truly enjoy doing, as you guys know if you've been following along the channel, and that is to do a comment suggestion. So today, we're going to take one of the comment suggestions, which was the M13B from MW2. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at the M13B. We're going to be taking that through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through to see just how viable this weapon can be for you to be using inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. And at the end, we're going to dip into the Dark Aether just to see how it performs in there as well. So without further ado, let's get to the M13 review video today. Alright, welcome into today's video. Thank you so very much for tuning in to today's video. I truly appreciate that. And it's something I enjoy doing today is taking a look at a viewer suggestion, which is the M13B. And we're going to be using the viewer suggestion build. So stick through to the end of the video to find out how what that build is. And so when I drop in and do the weapon testing videos, I spawn in and put all of my perks on with no additions to the weapon aside from using Deadshot Daiquiri as a mouse and keyboard player. I like the extra critical damage that I get. Now, before we get into things today, I just wanted to take a second to let you all know that the support on the channel has been absolutely insane. We crossed 3,600 subscribers recently, fast approaching our next Black Ops 6 giveaway unlock goal, which is 4,000 subscribers on the channel. So just before we get into the video today, I wanted to let you guys know that that is the next goal for the next Black Ops 6 giveaway. We'll be at 4,000 subscribers. And as of the recording of this video today, I have yet been able to verify the winner of our first Black Ops 6 giveaway. So as soon as I have that verified, and our first Black Ops 6 winner with the confirmed and received their prize, I will let everybody know, and we can proceed forward to the next goal, which is 4K subscribers. So thank you very much. Wanted to start off and just get that information out there before we dove into the video today. So there was our first bounty of the day, which was a Mimic we took on at White Rarity, and I could tell on our first bounty fight today that this was definitely going to be something that intrigued me. I could see the damage output was definitely half decent, if not above average on a White Rarity bounty contract inside of Tier 1. So I wanted to double check just to see the damage output on a Tier 1 bounty. Also, I did not have enough cash to use Pack-a-Punch yet, as I was using a newer operator, as I've wiped out a bunch of them trying to complete the Unstable Rift, which I haven't been able to do as of yet. But on our second Tier 1 bounty at White Rarity, taking on the Mangler, I had a really good feeling after dealing with this bounty contract that this weapon was going to be a viable weapon, that this build was going to be something that is definitely going to be something that we can use inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. So the next step was off to Pack-a-Punch, melee the machine to keep the blueprint camo we have on there, as I think it's a beautiful combination, and then go pick up another bounty inside of Tier 1, but this time being Pack-a-Punched only White Rarity with no tools and no ammo mods on the M13B. Now we got a Mimic here, and I could already tell right off the hop, like, holy smokes, what a difference the damage output was just taking this to Pack-a-Punch level 1. I mean, holy smokes, that Mimic had no chance. I was feeling super confident dealing with you know, anything at this point. I was feeling like this weapon is going to be able to dish out enough damage as we progress through and increase the damage output to it. So I wanted to throw on Legendary and Napalm Burst and then head off to grab our last bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1 to see how strong this M13B can be inside of Tier 1. I mean, we're about the max damage output you could possibly need inside of Tier 1, being Legendary, being Pack-a-Punched, and having an ammo mod on your weapon. And you can see the damage output on that Mimic on the health bar with each critical shot I was able to hit is definitely substantial. And so I was really eager and excited, as always, to run the viewer suggestions, as you guys know your stuff 100% and have set the bar pretty high for my expectations when it comes to running viewer suggestions, for sure. So I was happy to see that this continues that trend and that you guys have some absolute just beast builds that you guys are running inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which is awesome to see. So thank you for sharing. As well, there was 2 standard HVTs inside of Tier 3 at Pack 1 Legendary. Just wanted to show you how easy work this M13B made of those 2 Mimics. And then there was our bounty inside of Tier 1, or sorry, inside of Tier 2, and we're Pack 1 Legendary, and that Mangler, it was not much of a struggle at all. How does it handle crowd control inside of Tier 2 on regular zombies? Pack 1 Legendary, not much of an issue at all. As you can see, the carnage on screen is definitely real. So this is definitely something that you can bring into your games, and you can bring into Tier 2 at Pack-a-Punch 1. I feel like Epic or Legendary, and you will be just fine inside of Tier 2. Obviously, if you take it to Pack-a-Punch level 2 inside of Tier 2, you're going to just make even easier work of zombies, HVTs, and bounty contracts, as we're about to find out here as I went and visited Pack-a-Punch machine. So now our M13B is at a level 2 Pack-a-Punch, and we went and grabbed another bounty contract inside of Tier 2 to go and test and see how strong this is at Pack 2 Legendary with Napalm inside of Tier 2. I mean, we just saw how well it handled that Mangler bounty contract inside of Tier 2 being Pack 1. So I was kind of expecting, you know, to see a big dramatic damage output boost by taking it to Pack 2. And I certainly wasn't disappointed. I mean, that Mangler had no chance. It was definitely less than a magazine to get rid of him, which is awesome to see. That's definitely something I look forward to. So the next thing left on my list is to jump into Tier 3, but I didn't want to take it to Pack-a-Punch 3 before I got into Tier 3 this time. I was kind of curious and intrigued to see how it would handle Tier 3 only at Pack-a-Punch 2 with Legendary and Napalm. So we dropped in to the Wonder Fizz machine, grabbed the rest of the perks that I needed, so I now have all of the perks. And then it was off to our first ritual location here to see if I can replenish my Legendary tool and PAP3 crystal that I brought in. And today I got very lucky and there was a ritual left to be had. So of course I took that opportunity to take advantage of the fact that it was still here with only 20 minutes left to go in the match. There had been a bunch of teams inside of Tier 3 earlier, so it was time to head over here, activate the ritual by looking at the triangle like that, and then I wanted to see how viable this weapon is in Tier 3. We're Pack 2, Legendary with Napalm, and this is a perfect opportunity to have a whole bunch of zombies come at me in one direction so that you guys can see how the damage output is at Pack 2, Legendary inside of Tier 3. Am I able to handle the zombies? And we had a Mangler HVT show up. Definitely something that it was a viable option. I felt I wasn't really concerned with being overrun here. I felt like I was dishing out enough damage to be able to handle what was ever in front of me. So definitely awesome to see, especially being only in PAP 2. We got the loot that I would needed and to replenish what I brought in. And then I wanted to show you guys some crowd control here at Pack-a-Punch level 2 with Napalm Burst inside of Tier 3 on the M13B, just to show you how viable this weapon is. I mean, even Pack 2, you can see the carnage on screen. I don't really need to say much about whether or not it's a viable weapon at this damage output inside of Tier 3. As you can see the damage I'm doing on screen, you can see how quickly the zombies are falling in front of the barrel, so that is just awesome to see. I was feeling really confident now. So the last thing to do is to throw on Pack-a-Punch level 3 onto the M13B and see what kind of a difference this makes inside of Tier 3. And what better way to find out how Pack 3 works on the M13B than to go visit our good friend Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches. And I told you I was feeling very, very confident using this M13B today. I was really eager to see the damage output, getting it to, you know, Pack 3 with Legendary and Napalm. Was able to take out Zhorde's first eye right there, not much of a problem. And then if you come over to this location, Zhorde most of the time will fire up his laser attacks, as he cannot come down there with canopies and such. So this was definitely a good opportunity to take advantage of that. I was able to drop out a couple decoys to keep the riffraff away from me while I was able to focus in on Zhorde. And you can see just how quickly we were able to take out that Zhorde standard HVT inside of tier 3 with the M13B was definitely not much of a struggle at all. I mean, I felt really confident taking on Zhorde. It wasn't much of an issue. The next thing to do at this point was to try and, see how pack 3 this would handle, some crowd control. We have a mangler around. I wanted to try and isolate the manglers to show you, just the damage output it can do on an HVT inside of tier 3 at pack 3. So there's our mangler right there, and you can see the damage we're able to do. It was pretty substantial. I mean, when you hit the critical shots, you can see how far depleted his health bar gets, which is awesome. So this weapon is definitely something that at this point I was feeling really confident using, and feeling really confident in suggesting this one for us all to be using inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. The last time I ran the M13B, it was very strong as well. I do have to say at this point in my run, the M13B to me right now feels a little bit stronger than the last time I ran it. So I was still trying to see if we could get a Mega Abomination bounty contract inside of tier 3, but I was given a disciple. Yay, I love disciples. But having said that, and you guys all know how I feel about disciples, this M13B was definitely dishing out the damage, and my disciple just, what? He just deleted himself in the middle of a fight? I've never seen that. I've seen them complete before I get there. Once you get there and start engaging, though, I've never seen a bounty contract eliminate itself in the middle of a fight with you. So believe me, I was pretty happy to see that, in that it was a disciple. So we thought we'd clear out the riffraff here and see what I got for my free loot inside of tier 3 from our disciple bounty contract, which was the sigil, which I was happy to get, and it's another self-revive, which was awesome. Now at this point, my backpack was full, but I was still trying to show you guys Mega Abomination bounty contract inside of tier 3 with this weapon to show you, how viable it can be for all of us to be using inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. But lo and behold, the game today was giving me a disciple. Both times was a disciple. So we took on the disciple. That's just what they dish out, so that's what we're going to deal with. And I have to say, running around with this build, I felt the movement speed was good. I definitely felt like I was mobile. I wasn't feeling like a slug and constantly just getting overrun by the zombies when I had my weapon out. At this point, I wanted to throw on mags of holding to show you guys that. So we popped on mags of holding here. It's a good opportunity. I was clearing out some of the riffraff around. There was a bunch of zombies in the area. Mangler had showed up, so I figured this is a good time to get the mags of holding on so I don't have to worry about reloading. To show you guys, how this weapon performs with mags of holding. We also have the bounty chasing us around here, the disciple. So I figured this is just an awesome time to show you guys. The energy mine managed to clear out the majority of the riffraff behind me, which was absolutely amazing. And then I guess our second wave of riffraff showed up, which I wasn't prepared for that. I thought the energy mine had cleared them all and the coast was clear, and then I turned around and there was a whole bunch more zombies coming at me. So we dished out the damage with the M13B. As you can see on screen, it definitely handles the crowd control, definitely handles the disciple beefed up zombies inside of tier 3 without much of a struggle at all. I mean, you can see the carnage on screen, all of the DNA strands from all the zombies that we were able to just absolutely decimate right now inside of tier 3. I was feeling really confident, glad I picked up that sigil, to seeing how this was handling this disciple contract inside of tier 3. At this point, I wanted to kind of test it into the Dark Aether and see how it was going to perform inside of there, just seeing how strong I was. So it was time to grab Casimir and a sentry turret before I dropped into the Dark Aether. So we went off and grabbed the Season 2 Dark Aether, as I did not have a VR11 with me in order to complete an escort. So this is why I picked Season 2. Also, it was just more so to show how the weapon performs inside of the Dark Aether, not necessarily to show you crazy gameplay of the Dark Aether. Is more just to show you how this weapon performs inside of the Dark Aether, dealing with the zombies, HVTs, just everything that is the Dark Aether. As things are much stronger, things are much faster, there's a lot more chaos involved. So we picked up our first bounty and first contract inside the Dark Aether, which was the Mega Abomination. Now I could already tell right off the hop, but I didn't need to show you guys this fight, but that M13B is incredibly strong against that Mega Abomination inside of the Dark Aether. Definitely. I was thoroughly impressed with that. I had dropped my jug suit down. I wanted to use it because there's a lot of riffraff in this area. So I wanted to make sure I was able to complete, number one, the bounty contract, and then number two, be able to clear out enough of the riffraff around that I was actually able to get into the reward rift without taking another down. So we had a Disciple decide to third party the Mega Abomination bounty contract. Of course, Disciples always love to do that. I don't know why that is. And I gotta tell you, I feel like such a badass when I am in this a Juggernaut suit inside of the Dark Aether. It feels so good to just be able to mow down absolutely everything. It was awesome. So we got a VR11, Epic Tool, which I didn't need, and another self-revive out of that contract, which is awesome. So the next one I picked up was the P&D contract, the Outlast. So we went and grabbed that. And this one was one I was really kind of intrigued to see how the weapon would perform inside of here. It is a little bit cramped. It can be very tight spaces. We put a sentry down to help clear out some of the riffraff as well. And I was impressed. Like, you're able to definitely dish out some of the damage in here inside of this Outlast contract, where it can be absolute chaos. We've got Disciples in the area. We have a Mangler show up as well. There's just a whole lot of HVTs, a whole bunch of zombies. Everything gets absolutely chaotic. You know, one of the tips I use when I'm in here, you can see right here, is just jumping over the counters back and forth as the zombies can't climb over them. So you can use that to, you know, kind of give yourself a bit of a breather and group up the zombies, if you will, inside of here. Took it down right there. It's just too much riffraff for me to handle right now at that moment. But we got a Mangler show up, and you can see the damage I was dishing out to the Mangler when I got a couple shots in for critical. It was definitely awesome to see. It was really, really chaotic in here today as a solo player. For being in here before, I haven't had much of an issue kind of running around just dealing with everything inside of the Outlast contract. But today, it was a whole different story. I felt like I was in here with, you know, more than just myself. I felt like the spawn rate felt like it was, you know, for more than one player at this point. But definitely very chaotic to finish up the Outlast contract inside the Dark Aether today. I was definitely having some struggle, but I will say that wasn't from the weapon. The weapon itself was dealing a lot of damage. Most of the struggle was simply being able to maneuver around to get into a position where I could dish out the damage inside the P&D, as they were just, the spawns were all over the map while I was in here doing this contract. So we did manage to finish it, which was awesome. We got our second VR11 case this run, which was absolutely crazy. Went and picked up our last bounty contract inside of Season 2's Dark Aether, which is the Aether reactors. Now at this point, I had made a critical error in my gameplay as I had used up all of my tacticals. So I was out of my Casmirs, which I had brought in for the sole purpose of completing the Aether reactor contract. So now my next thought process on this was, I'll charge up my energy mine and plant the energy mine at each Aether reactor and complete them that way. However, I did misjudge and miscalculate dramatically just how long it takes to recharge your energy mine. And the Aether reactor contracts are, of course, timed, which I wasn't really paying much attention to. My focus at this point, obviously, was staying alive, dishing out the damage to the horde in front of me, trying to get enough of a rebuild on my energy mine that I'm able to head over to an Aether extractor. I finally got my energy mine ready, made it over to the Aether reactor, and I had failed the contract, unfortunately. So at that point, there wasn't really much left to do. I felt like this weapon was definitely strong. It's definitely a viable suggestion for all of us to be using inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies across all 3 zones and inside the Dark Aether, 100%. I truly enjoyed having the suggestion today and doing this run today with your suggestions, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Keep the weapon suggestions coming. You guys are absolutely crushing it with the weapon suggestions. Now, like I always do at the end of every video, we're going to show you the build that I used on the run today, which was the specific build I was given from the comment suggestion. So that's what we ran on it today, and if we work together down in the comments to make any changes needed to the weapon build so that we can all have an absolutely amazing weapon build for us to run inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games, then let's work together and do that in the comment section. And the camo is under your all camos under glitch, and it is in there. And the blueprint that I ran today is called Venom Strike. So if you head over to your assault rifles and you head over to your to your M13B, you will see the blueprint I used today, which is right here, the Venom Strike. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one.